Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob, day two of our $5,000 cash challenge trading just Robert Anderson's Gold Line trading bot. Let's see how the bot does today. Let's see how my strategies do today, right after the intro. All right, everyone, as always, nothing that I state on this channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business, and your funds are always at risk to be lost. All right, so where are we at? Today's November 28th. We just had news hit, and yeah, we just had a red news thing at 9 a.m. this morning. Just kind of a shit day of trading so far. Let me throw up the gold trade from this morning session. That was that was a loser. Let's see right here. So we get this inside bar about 8:25 in the morning, and we got activated to the long right away, and just reversed on me and knocked me out for pretty decent sized loss there. Um, so that was gold. Not happy about you right now, but that's okay. It's kind of what happens. Let me change this up. So far, nothing in oil. None of our we had no trade set up in session one yet. So hopefully, I get a trade here in session two to kind of make up for that. Um, so yes, there's where we're at. How did the bot do yesterday? Well, bot took one trade. We took a trade in the Nasdaq. Here is P&L from Ninja Trader. Remember, funded the account with $5,000 cash. Yesterday we took we had one trade for a loss of 100 and well, it was $100 gross. After commission it was $104.28, I think it was. So there's our balance that we're starting here today. Um, what did it do yesterday? It took one trade. And to be honest with you, I was pretty happy with the trade. I mean, I know it didn't work out. Would have loved for it to I would have loved for it to have panned out, but it didn't. And that's okay. So we had consumer confidence come out at 9 a.m. Obviously, a little reaction there. We had a bump up. I still had the bot open. It was priming up for a 5 minute goal line trade here that canceled out because it obviously continued going up. I was looking at it. I didn't have the longs and shorts off. I was just kind of manually looking at it, and I just kind of, I don't know. I kind of knew that just based on price action that the bot wouldn't even be taking a trade there. I wouldn't like to be trading right before the news, and generally I don't like trading right after the news, especially with this gold line strategy. My 835 NQ trade lost today, so that was negative 250. So I had a gold trade that went against me, and I had my NQ trade go against me. So today's not been the best morning for my strategies, but it's okay. It's actually been quite a few many days where I've been in the red. So it's kind of keeping your equilibrium here going. I guess is one way to look at it. Um, but yeah, no trade setup here in oil this morning. There was a report from OPEC that they might be delaying this meeting that they had scheduled. It was supposed to be last weekend, and then got delayed to Thursday, and now they're saying it might be delayed even more. They want to cut oil production, but a lot of the countries in OPEC do not want to do that. So there might be some volatility here in oil um, for the foreseeable future. And it just seems like there's been a lot of volatility in oil going back for months. So, and that's the reason why I've been trading it and trading it pretty successfully. So again, red so far for the day. Let's see what the bot takes. Let's see if hopefully I get a trade here in oil in the second session. Stick around for my trade recaps and for the entire session recap. Thanks, everyone. All right, here we get into what I consider to be a decent trade in oil. This is a pullback to the 1 minute goal line. Entry price on this one is at 76.73, about 10 ticks of stop. Now, here's my dilemma with this trade, with this particular trade. One is we were in a very long uptrend, very, very slow grind going up. I like the continuation of the trend here, but at the same time, I really felt that this thing has just been grinding so high that maybe it's actually looking for a pullback a little bit deeper, and that was what was in the back of my mind as far as what the likelihood of the success on this trade was. You're going to see, I think here I try to pull my stop loss. No, I'm sorry, not here. I don't pull it down, but I actually think I pull it up and with price action, it starts to increase on me, and I try to move the stop loss, but I had forgot that part of this bot and strategy, it's just the next time that it thinks that it's going to go to either break even or break even plus whatever, it'll still do that to the strategy. So I can't really adjust that too much. There you go. This is where I change it, and then it just pops right back in. So I was just trying to honestly cover some commissions. On this trade, I get up to $160 in profit. I'm pretty much break even right now, so not much skin in the game, minus $3 or $4 in commission. But unfortunately, this trade turns out to be a loser for me. Break even loser. All right, and this is kind of a comical trade. If you guys remember my video from yesterday, we had a few overnight open setups.
Order filled.
Yesterday that I missed, and today I saw this thing bouncing off of the overnight open, and I'm like, I gotta get into this thing. I have to get into this trade no matter what. So I open up my chart trader. I start looking for my manual overnight open, and I couldn't find the one for the NQ. This is obviously the NQ here that I'm showing. So I ended up grabbing the ES overnight open ATM strategy that I had gotten that from one of Bob Anderson's video maybe a year ago. And so obviously the stops were really tight. So I expanded. I got so excited to get into this trade because I'm like, I'm not letting another one just slip through my hands. That I kind of like half-assedly put the take profit and stop loss. Looking at price action, I actually probably, for a quick scalp, I probably left my take profit in a good spot. I could have probably moved it up a few points to get to the top of this pivot. That obviously in hindsight, you can, I mean, everybody looks like an awesome trader. But my stop loss was kind of like put in a I just kind of just, you saw me how quickly I just moved two things over. And I'm thinking to myself, now that I'm watching my trade and giving my little recap, I'm like, I should have just moved that stop loss underneath the overnight open. It's obviously, it repelled it right there. So that would probably be, if it goes to touch it again, that would be a spot where I would think that you would get some kind of support. But during this trade, I mean, I'm pretty much cool as a cucumber. I'm not. I feel really good about this trade. In fact, I missed another one earlier on an overnight open, and this seems to have been the trade setup that has worked really the best. So I am just super excited for the addition of the overnight open trade to this bot. I think it's gonna do I think it's gonna do really well for the strategy in general, for P&L. I think it's gonna be a good addition. So I'm super excited about it. Um, and then part of my strategy is to set it and forget it. That is this is something that I have kind of evolved in as a trader, and I think it's made me a better trader. I mean, there's no part of this trade here, even when we were a few points away from getting stopped out, where I was, worried or even thought about, cutting this trade off early. So again, in hindsight, you'll probably end up seeing that, my take profit was way too conservative here. Um, if I could do this trade all over again, and now know that I can obviously do this manually and without an issue, um, I would have put my take profit all the way up to where that blue label is at, that pivot. That's the natural place where price action is going to want to go. So I would be willing to let this thing bounce a few times off this pivot where I currently have my take profit at, and let this thing keep going, which honestly is what it ended up doing. So overall, good trade. Saw the overnight open trade, took it, and this one thing worked out pretty well.
Target filled.
Here we get
Order
in,
submitted.
Here we get into a trade on the Nasdaq. Full disclosure, I'm not in front of the charts at this time, and
Order
it's a
canceled.
5 minute gold line trade that I didn't like this at all. I would have never traded this. I just felt like I gave back. I don't. It was not a lot of points here, but I just felt like I just gave away some money there. So my mistake on that one, and I kind of get that. I had just activated just longs at this point. I was already off on the oil, but I did activate just longs, and would have ended up probably working out, but just hit my stop loss too soon. And there you have it. So can't really say that the bot was profitable today. I was profitable trading Robert Anderson's strategy. And this overnight open trade, and I would say the overnight trade in general, has just been on fire the last couple of days. If I pull up the NASDAQ here, this is at the open. You could see price action just goes right up, taps into that overnight open, rejects down for a good 40, 45 points on that reversal. And then we get into news right at 9 o'clock, and it just busts right through the overnight open, turns all the way back around, and then gets buoyed back up over this overnight open. And it was right here where I'm like, I can't let another overnight open trade pass me by. I mean, and I kind of fumbled it. I mean, this you guys saw it in the video. I I was looking through my ATM strategies, and I was able to find my overnight open one, which is one I used to trade manually, but it was the ES. So the ES is I've got one for the NQ, I've got one for the ES. My ES is always at a lower range, more narrow targets than the Nasdaq was. So kind of adjusted the take profit and stop loss kind of hastily on that trade. Looking back on it in hindsight, I easily gave up. I left 150, $200 on the table on that trade, but it's okay. I at least know that I can still pretty much trade this stuff manually if I have to on the overnight open. I'm super excited for that feature to be added to the bot because I think that's going to be a huge addition to this strategy and trading this bot in general. The oil the oil trade that I took, I liked it and I didn't like it. That trend that I was talking about, I mean that thing lasted for it seemed like for an eternity, and I kind of felt I had that feeling that I was getting in at the top. And it the trade went up for, I think it was up $160 in profit, which is pretty good. But break even trade, I mean, the fact that it was break even made it a little bit better, but it was so trade, so. The third trade that I took there for a loss, that was dumb. I mean, I wasn't even in front of the charts. I wish I could take that one back because that was just, I think I just gave away free money to the market on that particular trade. But that's okay. That's the way it goes. Let's see the performance. Um, So got the account back up over $5,000. Today we had a realized profit and loss of $117, which was pretty much that overnight open trade that I took there on the Nasdaq. And if I open up my performance matrix for today, I had total profit of 185. I had that one losing trade for 55. So I had one winner, one loser, and then I obviously had that break even trade. Um, so I don't know. I mean, the challenge we're at least we're up. I mean, we fought back. As far as my other strategies, overall today, I'm in the red. I am definitely in the red today. And where do we start? Let's start with gold. Um, yeah, yeah. Let's start with gold. So gold, I showed you guys this morning. If I can find it here, let me bring it up here on the. All right, I showed you guys this trade in gold at 8:25 in the morning. We got that inside bar. Just tapped into the long entry there, and right away just knocked us out within probably 12, 13 minutes of that trade. Um, and that was 38 ticks. I mean, that was a loser, man. That one actually hurt. Hard to rebound on that one now at this point. So I do kind of continue to fight, and I'll kind of explain to you guys how I continue to fight because right after this trade, I take this trade was at 8:25, so right in between here on 8:35, I think it was. Took my Nasdaq trade, and that one lost. So now I'm just like, oh, I'm like, this is just not good. So at that point, I'm in a pretty big hole, and I'm still looking for gold to kind of come save the day. I think a few people in Discord were like, let's hope that gold comes in and saves the day. Well, it saved the day. Um, Not completely, but did a pretty damn good job of it here. So this is oil. Let's open this up here a little bit so you guys can see it. We have no trade in session one. We had an inside bar here that formed at 7:55 and closed at 8 a.m. I don't know. I don't believe anybody took this in Discord. I mean, it doesn't fit my strategy, but people deviate. So maybe, not sure. I obviously did it. It does not fit my strategy. And this inside bar did. So I got this inside bar at about 9:20 in the morning. Let me take this tool off. I've got my long entry at the top of the inside candle, and I've got my short entry at the bottom of the inside candle. And we obviously get activated to the long. And our risk here is right at the bottom of our source candle, so 19 ticks. And we get 19 ticks of profit and then some. Imagine having a trailer on that one. Holy moly. But here's the thing. Here's the crazy part. Look at this price action. Let's see if I can. Let's get fancy. Look at this price action right here. It stayed in this range. It stayed in this range until when? Until this inside bar happened. And then what happened right after that inside bar? Boom! To the moon. Telling you. I, I know it's simple. It might be too simple. I don't know. So oil obviously ended up working for me. Didn't make up the loss for gold. Didn't make up the loss for the Nasdaq. We did get a trade on the Rob 15-minute reversal. Let me see if I could pull that one up here. All right, let's look at the day. So 8:30 open right here. We do get a signal to go long, but it closes below the ADMA, so no trade. Comes all the way up, comes all the way down. We get a long signal here, but again, closes below the ADMA, no trade. And right here, right at 1 o'clock. So my strategy is at 1:15. That's my cutoff period. So this fit my trade, my time rule, closed underneath the ADMA, short setup, got into this trade. So in this trade, and get, I don't know, we get reverses up on us all the way up here. I had just changed my stop loss on the indicator to 35 points. So I'm 1-to-1, 35 points on the on this trade, 15-minute reversal, which actually saved my behind because this thing went all the way up to 29 points of loss and then reversed back down. I actually ended up getting out for about a 70, not even, maybe a $40 profit or $50 profit, just because we were getting it to about 2:30 in the afternoon on this trade. And I don't like to have any position. I honestly don't like any positions open after 2. But especially when you start getting around that 2:30 mark, I just feel that's when the algos start coming in and I don't know. I've never had a good luck trading at the end of a session. So I was going to kill it right at break even. And then it got a really nice push. Actually left a little bit of money on the table there, but either way, nowhere near enough to get me into the green today. But that's okay. I mean, again, as long as your green days outweigh your red days and your green profit days dollar wise outweigh your red loser days and staying in the green. My goal is very simple. I'm very methodical on my trading. I try to win the day. I try to win the week. I try to win the month. Uh, Next month in December, if I have a green December, I won the year. First year I have ever won in trading. So And I don't even know if this has ever been said that way, but this is honestly the way that I look at my own trading journey is start with the small steps first. Win a trade, win a day, win a week, win a month. You can even go win a quarter, win a year. Hopefully this helps somebody out there. I'm anything that I can do to help out another trader. I'm hoping that this is it. So please smash the like button. Leave me a comment below. I read them all, and please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out so much. See you guys tomorrow. Happy trading.